Asian American Expo. So we're really glad that he can take time off his busy schedule to come here and do something for Inheritance. So let's welcome Jason too.
Woo! Cool. Yeah, how you guys doing? Good. All right. I love Asian audiences because they're not loud, but they're responsive, as we were taught to be. Yeah. So recently I released a new album called Much Love. You can find it on my website. You know, all my social media is Jason Chu Music. So this is the title track. This is the poem. This is the rap song that was the title track. And it goes like this. We are the accidental hipsters / the Instagramming activists. Always talking work, but we're afraid to barely break a sweat. We head to Las Vegas on that 737 jet. Check our bank balance on the internet. Into debt. Is this accurate, the portrait that we paint our therapists? Or does something immaculate lie just behind the back of it? When advocates try to tackle it, they mangle it. Tangled into accusations, disconnected discontent. Say we don't care, say our generation lacks. Passive, passion lying absent, asking when I'll get my mansion. Acting so impertinent, just stacking cash in banks. Hacking, photoshopping, sexting, culture is a blank. I'm blacking out, no backing out. You want to know what we're about? I'm rapping at a fashion photo shoot, so listen up. This is my secret mission. Listen to the sequence behind all the misdemeanors. We're just looking for some love. My friends telling me they all need some inner healing, but they won't go to the church because they can't stand all the preaching. The pastor giving speeches leaves them miserable and sleepy, always talking about sin, trying to convince them that they need him. What they can't find in religion, they see promised in the club. Charging no cover if you're looking for some love, but undercovers leaves them empty as they come. And it's hard to cover up when you are naked as a dove. So I'm neither the above. I'm not a pastor, not a dancer. Got a message for the masses, and I'll do it as a rapper. I'm not trying to make them change. I'm just trying to understand. And if they want someone to walk with, I have sneakers in my van, because love is impossible if you cannot be flexible. I know you want to schedule, but life isn't on demand. There's no plan for the healing if you're dealing with your demons. It takes time to see growth from a child into a man. Now, who here believes the world has enough love? Who here believes the world has enough love? Who here believes the world has enough love? So we're here to give them much love. Now, I know that you've been tired, high, and hiding from your clients. Hired out of undergrad or unemployed, barely surviving. Riding round to interviews, paying for bills and gas and food. Your attitude is at a latitude with veterans with battle wounds. The path before you lined with cannibals. They'll eat you if they have to. Business in the back room, while the back is where they stab you. Half your friends have turned their backs, and you don't know if you can trust the other half, who seem to back you till they vanish into dust. The plan was, let's drink until the pain's over. You could make it rain, but you'll be thirsty when your rain's over. You can play the game, but they will play you when the game's over. Addicts must view each day as a battle to remain sober. You either grow or you die. What will you choose? If you want to gain success, what will you lose? Let go of the past. Let your baggage go unchecked. Stop focusing on that and you can finally find the rest. So who here believes the world has enough love? Who here believes the world has enough love? Who here believes the world has enough love? So we're here to give them much love. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so that's like I said, that's the title track off the new CD. And then this is another one. This was actually the second single. We dropped a really little music video for it that we just actually shot around the 626. And so this one's called Grace. And some of you guys might have heard this live, but I called this song Grace because on a lot of levels, it's about Grace. It's about all the girls that I know who are called Grace. You know, that's what happens. You know, I perform at like Chinese conferences or at colleges or at churches, and there's always a Grace. That's a good thing, though. That is, you're special and unique. But yeah, so it's a reflection on why so many of our parents named their daughters Grace. She was born to two parents, immigrants with little left. Left a war-torn country full of suffering and death. Mom and dad working so hard to pay the bills and pay the rent. Barely even spoke the language, so at night they went to class. living in a small apartment in a bad part of the town. Mom got mugged outside the door, the criminals were never found. They slaved away because they saw the promise in tomorrow. Hoped the generation after would grow up without the sorrow. Now it's finally the time, the child won't wait any longer. Rushing to the clinic in a car they had to borrow. Labor lasts all night, they've been laboring all their lives. Dad and mom are their new names, not only husband and wife. Now she lies there in their arms, new life, and they're amazed. And the nurse asks for a name, they've prepared for this for days. Because her name provides a clue to all the stories on her page. It was Grace. And the chorus goes, when you're bleeding, when you need it, when you fear you're alone, I'll be there to wipe the tears off. I'll be there to guide you home. Just call it grace. Just call my name. And then part 2 of the story is like this. Now Grace is growing up. As the years are flowing past, mom and dad can't believe it all happened very fast. 1 second she's a toddler, the next second in class. Now she's in the high school, college could be coming next. But there's been some other changes in the years that came between. Dad is working so hard, he's the one she barely sees. Coming in at midnight after he closes up the store. Some weeks she only knows he's there because she hears the door. So her life at home is tense. She's been fighting with her mom who always says that she's ungrateful, doesn't get what's going on. She says, your father and I work so hard, you do us wrong when you whine about a car or a new dress to wear to prom. But she just wants to fit in, and kids can be so cruel. All her clothes are wearing out and they make fun of her at school. So she lies awake at bed, crying for anyone to hear. Then she falls asleep at night and hears a whisper in her ears saying, when you're bleeding, when you need me, when you fear you're alone, I'll be there to wipe the tears off. I'll be there to guide you home. Just call it grace. Just call my name. Now mom and dad separated so that it was for the best. She just shrugged, but inside she could feel it in her chest. And I wanted to help out, but she insisted she was fine. And I knew she knew I knew the words were nothing but a lie. Every day she spent searching for the dreams she had that died. All the things she wanted to believe but didn't dare to try. I could see it weigh her down. I just wanted her to fly, but her eyes were on the ground, never looking to the sky. Now she's searching for support and she gave everything a try. Dated guys who weren't good for her and started getting high. Her body was alive, but her soul barely survived. Then one day in her room, she heard a deeper voice inside that said, Grace, you aren't alone. I've never left your side. Been with you every moment, every second you've been mine. I'll never leave you. More than that, your future has a plan, 'cause every child has meaning that was shaped by my hand. So my sister switched her major and the plans for her career. No more mourning for the past, she started caring for her peers. And the poor knew her by the name our parents gave to her. It was Grace. Because when you're bleeding, when you need it, when you fear you're alone, I'll be there to wipe the tears off. I'll be there to guide you home. Just call it grace. Thank you guys, thank you. You know, it's funny, we only have house lighting, but it still feels warm on stage. Do you guys go on stage a lot? Stages? Anybody who goes on stages always knows that stage, lights. Mad warm. Yeah, but maybe that's just the love in the house. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that from Inheritance Mag. You guys are the best. So this is the last sort of spoken word that I want to perform, and then maybe we can just talk or have fun or whatever. But this one is actually the outro from Much Love. So this is the poem that I wrote to sort of conclude that album and sum up my thoughts on its making and why I do this. I said, I promise to tell our stories, even if I starve trying. I'd rather be poor and truthful than rich and always lying. So they asked me, why use your education to do rap? I reply, why use yours to just stack money for a bank? Comfort is the opposite of changed. And I'll be damned if I ever let my inner fears get in the way of the path that I've been given. I am no longer afraid, no longer a slave to wages. I've been waging war on shame. Because they tried to shut us up, as though we have nothing to say, As if the stories of our parents will go with them to their grave. But I can't take that, so take this. Take a chance, take a stance against the factions that give silence for an answer. This world will never give you anything. You have to create it. Plant your own garden, harvest water, clean and pack and crate it. So while others are waiting for a spaceship that will never ever come, while they're waiting for a spaceship that will never ever come, why are you waiting for a spaceship that will never ever come? I'm not waiting for a spaceship. I'm flying straight up towards the sun. Much love. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate it. Check it out. You can check it out at jasonchumusic.com, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at jasonchumusic. Thanks guys.